GC, go. Guidance, go. Fido, go. Prop, go. GNC, go. Max, go. Eagle, go. Ecom,
go. Pending final steps to cabin link check.
2, 1.
Welcome to the R.I.F.T Nation Network, the RNN, putting a slide in your glide and a dip in your hip. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe. With shows throughout the week, you can find us at Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and more. Everything you could want, everything you could need right here, right now. From the paranormal to the supernatural. From comedy to the spiritual. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
It's showtime, folks!
Podcast may contain material that some listeners may find sensitive, offensive, or disturbing. We strive to create respectful and informative content, but topics discussed may include mature themes such as violence, explicit language, or controversial subjects, triggering content including discussions related to mental health, trauma, or other sensitive issues, explicit language. Occasionally, our guests or hosts may use strong language. While we aim to handle these topics with care and empathy, we encourage listeners to exercise discretion. If you find any content distressing, consider skipping or seeking support. Remember that this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice. If you need assistance, please consult a qualified expert.
Hi.
Hi.
I did not hit that video again. My cursor was nowhere near that video. I don't know.
Weird things happen.
But next week, there's going to be some words and stuff on that video. Joni gave me a hand. She's going to give me a hand, and there's going to be some more. So it's just not silence. I did let it play today because I was still sharing stuff out. You know, stuff. We're stuff. I was sharing our stuff out, but not that stuff. I'm going to shut up and just say, welcome to another wonderful edition of the Otter's Den with your hosts, me, Keith Ottersbury, Jan, and Renee. How is everybody doing? Hey, Z-Son, how you doing?
Pretty good. I just want to...
Let me hit the chat button.
Yeah, I know. That's what I just had to do. I just want to give a shout out to all the veterans and say Happy Veterans Day. Thank you for everything you've done. Tomorrow is it's a pretty big deal here in this house. So
it's a pretty big deal in this house too. Not so much anymore, but I'm going to be 56 tomorrow. 5 and 6 is 11, so it's kind of a special birthday. But I'm just going to go to work, and then I'm going to come home. I might take myself out to eat if the finances allow. Otherwise, it's just a normal day for me. But I made it in another year.
Here, I'll cheers you with my sweet tea.
Cheers.
Hold on, Renee, wait, is that a Dr. Pepper?
That's a Dr. Pepper cherry. Look at that. Great minds think alike. And no, we are not sponsored by Dr. Pepper. We wish we could be.
Amen.
Yes, I wish I could be. I tell
Ryan.
you, the kids yesterday, we went out shopping. We did a whole bunch of things. Jesse's off for 4 days, so it's
Nice.
kind of a big deal in this house. And we took them. I told them, I said, if you're good, we will go to Whataburger. And Abby's like, Dr. Pepper blackberry shake, here I come. She just does this all little.
There you go.
Hold on. I got to teach her to Trump.
Sorry.
If I seem quiet, I'm sharing out on my other platforms.
And I have shared everywhere that I possibly can. So.
Hey, Adrian. Hey,
there.
Ryan.
Oh, there's my Aunt Vivian. Hi, Aunt Vivian.
Hi, Aunt Vivian.
Keith, I'm pretty proud of you.
What'd I do?
Yeah,
Thank you.
given your age.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, if you were to ask me, I might be 38 next year.
I'm going to be 21 again.
I don't know if I'd be 21, but I'd be 38 again. For sure.
38. Yeah, that sounds like a good time.
It's right on that cusp, right? Like,
yeah.
You know, you're not young, you're not old, you're just 38.
Well, age is just a number too.
True.
In some aspects, yeah. But if I could go back to a different age, I'd still want to keep all the knowledge that I've gained.
Yeah. I agree with that. I still wouldn't change anything.
No, but I don't want to have to go through those lessons again.
You're 56, right?
What's that?
You're going to be 56, too, right?
Yeah.
Man, look, you got to go pay. I'm telling you, go get a lottery ticket.
I'm going to.
11, baby. On the 11, what? On what? What's the house number? That's too many 11s.
419 North 11th, corner of 11th and K. 1111. K is the 11th number.
Go play that number. Go play 11111 all the way across.
I got my numbers. I just say, here, run this. And I know they're supposed to, but it irritates me. For $12? Yes. We go through this every time I come in. Whatever the total is. I filled everything out. That's what I want. Anyway, I digress. Hi, Renee. Hey, Della. How you doing?
Mama Newsom. Hello, Mama Newsom.
Della in the house.
All right, tonight's topic is kind of heavy. Are we officially in retro?
Believe so.
Ugh. Everybody go. Eh.
What planets are in retrograde right now? November 9th is when Mercury. So yesterday Mercury went retro. That's interesting.
I felt it.
Outer planets Saturn, Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto are also retrograde right now. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 6 mother planets in retrograde right now.
So if I just start spinning backwards really fast, do you think I can get them to like switch?
Well, I'm thinking about getting a really long rope and trying to wrap it around the planets and give it a yank the opposite way to get them going forward again. But then again, that would probably be bad karma on me because then I wouldn't get the lessons I need to go through and then we
Okay,
got to do it all over again.
Yeah.
And I'm going through a lesson today. I woke up, wasn't feeling that great last night, didn't think anything of it.
Mm-hmm.
Woke up this morning and no, wasn't happening. And I normally do a pretty good job of keeping stuff
Yep.
out of my house, out of my home, out of my house, my home. It's a home. Welcome to my home. I made a new word.
How?
But
How? See? See?
there you go. But something got to me. Something got through, and stuff happens. But I did what I needed to do to take care of it. Took salt bath. I lit a very special candle that I had made, anticipating something because I felt I needed to make that candle. It is now currently probably almost exploding in my fire pit. Did some other things, loaded up.
Yep.
And throughout the day, I slowly got to feeling better. I'm still not feeling the best, but I know what it is. Part of it is ascension flu, with the retrogrades, the downloads, the meteor showers, the solar flares that we've been having. You can get flu symptoms, not have a fever. You're not sick. Your body is trying to catch up to your vibration, your spirit, which is being raised and educated. Educated. Yeah, educated. That's a better word. And you can have a day. It used to take me 3 days to recover from. Now it's a day, and I'm good. But yeah, I had to stay home today. There's no way I could go in and function running heavy machinery.
Mm-hmm.
I was dizzy. Bathroom was my friend. Just saying.
Yep.
But that dizzy part, that's being dizzy around the machines I run. That's dangerous. You know, if I go to press a button and do this and hit the wrong button, that can be detrimental to that machine and cost the company a lot of money. So I made the decision to just stay home and heal. Not really physically, because physically I wasn't sick, but metaphysically I was. So I made the decision to sit here and do shadow work.
Ooh,
Which is
topic of
what?
the day.
What is shadow work tonight, ladies?
Our topic.
Our
Yeah.
top. See how I did that?
Mm-hmm.
See what I did there?
Shadow work is definitely important, especially this time of year.
Yeah, because you're coming up on the end of the year, so you have that. Oh, I need to be better. I need to choose better. So let me try again. But remember, it's not failure, people. A lot of people, that's what they get upset at. It's a, oh, well, I didn't conquer whatever it was. Like, you know what, like whatever question or trigger or self-sabotage that people, you know, say that shadow work is, you know, I don't know. It's, you know, some of the questions I've asked myself over the years is, what am I most afraid of? Sometimes, you know what I mean? That's a huge one for some people. What am I afraid of? Afraid of stepping out of my comfort zone?
Yeah.
Afraid of healing? Afraid of not passing more trauma down to your kids?
Yeah.
I mean, doing, you know, tons of things.
Fear is one of those that I have a hard time with. I think I go through the normal, you know, human fears.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm going through that right now. About the only thing that can hit me to my core, I'm going through right now. So, you know, just I don't necessarily fear for myself. I fear for others. Does that make sense?
It does,
Yeah.
because I've gotten through everything I've ever been through to today. So whatever happens tomorrow, I know I'm going to get through. But I do worry about other people sometimes, because they may not have my experience. They may not have my fortitude. They may not have knowledge. that I've gained by going through my shadow work and the dark nights of the souls that I've been through.
I worry. I'm proud. And not that like I worry that everything's out of control, or I have this strange anxieties. Just I don't know. I think for the most part I'm a pretty grounded person, and that's due to shadow work. That's going back, looking at things, looking at myself, and reflecting. I'm one of those, people go, well, I have this certain time frame that I do shadow work. I do shadow work every day. I go through and I sit down with my prayers and go, okay, what A, could I have done better? B, how could I have handled it better? C, how am I not going to do this again? And I acknowledge things right as they either happen or at the end of the day.
Yep.
And then like I've said before on the show, I wake up with that fresh start of, okay, I'm going to go at this again. I'm going to try this again. For me, it's probably, the big things out of control, like when certain things are going to be delivered. And it's just the anxiety of it getting here, or
a lot of the times we try to control a situation instead of let it flow.
Right. And it's not even controlling, because I'm not like on the phone consistently, right? Or I might be checking nonstop. I don't know. Like, I think shadow work is something that everybody should do every day.
I agree.
Reflect.
Something goes wrong at work. Okay. I didn't fail. I had a learning experience. Why did I have that learning experience? So I'll go back through all my different jobs. Does this have anything to do with when I worked at this factory or that factory? Am I doing something different? Should I be doing it more like that way or this way? And I'll look at that past factory experience I have and try to apply it to what I'm doing now. Same way with coworker relationships, friend relationships. I'll sit back. Okay. This cycle is coming back up again. Let's look at why. And generally I can get it figured out. Say, okay, hey, let's talk about this. This happened. Let's face it. Let's try to figure out how to not allow it to happen again. Hey, Lisa, how you doing? Lisa Campbell, the almighty sound effects lady, is in the house. Lisa, we're going to put you to work pretty soon. Just saying.
I find with this retrograde, I don't know about anybody else, but this retrograde, for some reason, it's hit me pretty hard. But it's new things. It's things that I haven't experienced before, but maybe I don't know. It's just
New layers.
New
When you peel an onion, that very outside layer, it's papery, it's dry, it's thin, comes right off, right? Well, the next one's a little thicker, a little moister.
Oyster with an in front. Remember, it's oyster.
Moist. A little juicier, and you might get a tear, because of the fumes.
I had to. I'm sorry.
Next layer's a little thicker, and you keep going until you get to the core, the heart of that onion.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like doing shadow work. You can go through a lesson from a traumatizing time in your childhood over and over and over, and each time you're looking at a deeper layer. So yeah, you dealt with this, but there's something you may have missed. So the next Mercury or Pluto retrograde, whatever, some of the other planets also bring stuff up. You might get a new layer to look at because you gain knowledge. You acknowledge the fact that this happened. You worked through it, figured out why. You released it. Okay, now it's time to look a little deeper.
Yep.
Spirit wants us to be free from all that baggage. Yesterday was heavy. Put it down.
Yep. Put it down.
And we have Mercury and Pluto, along with 4 others, in retrograde right now, all crossing certain points, and then they'll be going back over those points, looking back at what we've learned, what we've seen, what we felt. So we are supposed to be studying our life right now. That is shadow work. That is shadow work. So it's very important. Mercury retrograde is very short this time. Doesn't happen very often, but it's the universe saying, hey, here's a quickie before the holidays. Do some work before you got to go listen to Uncle Bob at the dinner table. You know?
No, until you have to listen to Mariah Carey on the radio.
No. You know, I don't think I've ever heard that song.
Freeze her and keep her frozen.
I don't think I've ever heard that song on the radio.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Last year I went almost the whole time without hearing it.
Same here.
Until freaking Christmas Eve. And then I was like, I was so happy. I was like, oh, I haven't listened to that song. And then it was like,
all right. So I have to say, I feel like Adrian, Jesse just brought me my dinner. I apologize to everybody. Usually this is what happens to Adrian is like Zach will bring in her plate in the middle of the show because she's worked all day and he's being a gentleman. So Jesse just brought me mine. I apologize to everybody for eating on air, but it has been a day of removing goat heads from the yard, catching things on fire, moving railroad ties.
Please explain what goat heads are.
yes.
Okay. So
Please.
a goat head here in the Southwest is the worst thing that you can ever run across. You know what? Hold on. I actually have a bucket full of goat heads right here that we made.
It's
Because
not.
I'm sure somebody somewhere is going, what did she just say?
Yeah, don't report us.
Bucket
Don't
full of what?
turn us in. It's not a live animal goat
Exactly.
head. It's
No. It is these things.
Oh yeah.
So it's a plant that grows, and these are the seed pockets. And as you can see, to step on these, let's get another one up here.
We've got something similar in Nebraska. We call them sandburrs. Yep. Oh my God, that looks exactly like it. It might be the same plant.
Yeah. Well, here in the Southwest, we call them goat heads.
Okay.
But yeah, no, they're nasty. So the only way to get them is to burn them. You know, it's just great.
Oh God, Lisa's getting visuals.
Oh boy, watch out. Watch out when the Mighty Effects lady gets visuals. The dishes end up being done too at the same time. Just gonna say.
I'm shutting up. But my dishes are clean. So is my laundry.
See, you're every woman's dream.
I could be. I'm somebody's unicorn.
I have mine.
I wash dishes. I wash, dry, fold, and put my laundry away all in the same day now. I've been doing some windows. I'm just saying.
And that's kind of, you know what? Retrograde is flying all right along with shadow work and cleaning your home.
It is.
Reflection and cleaning your home at the same time is always a good thing.
I did a couple small things today as I slowly started to feel better. But I didn't stray too far from the bathroom.
Well, I mean, you're clearing out something.
Not wrong. No, in my basement, when I first put my plumbing in, there's little straps that go around the pipe that attach it to the board. Okay. Well, I started to put those in, but then I had to go do something else. So I just put some large screws in to support it. Well, they've been hanging there with one screw in them for 3 years. So I'm like, you know what? I can just reach up and drive a screw in with my impact. That's easy. I'm right by the turlet. I'm good. So it took like 5 minutes to finish that I've been putting off for 3 years. And I did it safely.
You know, and that there's a good point, putting things off.
Yeah.
Retrograde and shadow work.
That is part of shadow work. Hey, Michelle, how you doing? Thank you. Oh, Lisa. Oh my God, you had to bring up the sparkler.
I don't want to know.
No,
Now I have the visual.
I don't have a sparkler burning, but I do have some incense. You know, that's a long stick that burns. Just saying. But it's
I had a long
to
torch.
hold it.
I had a long propane torch.
There you go. Hang on, I gotta take a peek of something real quick. Oh.
Oh no, I'm afraid.
Do I even want to know?
I don't even want to know because that laugh is that. Oh, that's that. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Part of my healing journey today was the other day I've been, as I make a candle, I inscribe on the candle an intention and I'll light it. And there's usually a little bit left, that doesn't burn. So I save it and I bought wicks. I've saved containers and I always wanted to try making candles. So all of a sudden the other day I had to make candles. And I'm glad I had it on a very large glass plate on top of my microwave because it burned so hot and so fast that it blew up. And I made 2 of them, but I set an intention to burn off negativity that other people were sending and to let them feel it. And so today I'm looking at that candle. I'm like, I really need to light that. Where can I do that safely? The fire pit outside. And it was breezy. I didn't think it'd stay lit, but it did. And I kept going out and peeking at it. And the further I got down, the hotter it burned, the bigger the flame. The more wild the flame was dancing. And then it started, the whole thing started on fire. I've sent you pictures. And I told you it's going to blow up. And then I had 2 old no trespassing signs in the fire pit, one on each side of it. That's telling these people, don't. Well, one of them's gone. The fire's out, so it blew up, and one of the signs is gone. So that took care of one of them. But a little intention can go a long way if you do it in the right way.
Exactly.
You don't want to hurt anybody, but you want them to take notice that, hey, I've noticed what you did. I give this back to you. Just leave me alone.
Yeah.
Just leave me alone. And again, we're talking about shadow work. That is something that happened in your past that person cannot and will not let go. But if they would do their shadow work, they may see that they had a part to play in whatever happened. And maybe they need to look in the mirror and say, okay, maybe I did have something to do with that. Maybe I did the wrong thing. Maybe I said the wrong thing. Maybe I acted in the wrong way. I've done that a lot in my life. Did the wrong thing, acted the wrong way, said the wrong things.
I mean,
I was just gonna go ahead.
It shadow work. If how I look at it, it involves acknowledging, which a lot of people have a hard time doing. Acknowledging.
I did.
And the hidden aspects of yourself to foster your personal growth and heal. Yeah. And not only that, you're also meant to improve your relationships with other people. Because sometimes you have to look at yourself in somebody else because something that they do triggers you. So is that something that's deep rooted in you that you just keep putting off,
That.
thinking it's got nothing to do with you?
That, your shadow self.
Mm-hmm.
People will mirror us
Mhm.
back to us.
Mhm.
And we may have taken an aspect that we don't like about ourselves and put it away. We don't look at that because I don't like that about myself. But when we see somebody else doing that same thing, it triggers us. We can't. No, So we get pissed and
Yeah.
we walk away from it. No, face it. Why did that trigger me? Because
I mean,
that
though,
go ahead.
even though sometimes maybe somebody else is going through their journey and they're mirroring themselves to you because you are the mirror and they see themselves, so they're triggered, but they come back and they say that you are projecting yourself onto them.
That.
What is that age-old saying? I always used to tell my kids, well, maybe the reason why this person doesn't like you is because you remind them of something either A, they can't be, or something B, that they are, right?
Yeah. Or somebody they can't have.
Yep.
You know, I was triggered pretty hard. Was it last week? And I had to take a step back and I had to be like, why is this triggering me? And then I realized it's something that I don't do anymore. I'm too old for. And it's something I've never appreciated, and that's drama. Drama, drama, drama. I am not a drama person.
No.
Just come at me. You don't have to tell the whole world what happened. Just come at me, tell me, and let's go over it, right? Like I can't do drama. And I have to look
Absolutely.
at the reason why. I've never been able to do drama.
I used to. The whole bar scene, knowing 500 people that were in the bar. I thought I had a lot of friends. No, I had a lot of drinking buddies, had a lot of drama buddies. And once I started changing, that wasn't my scene anymore. I don't like to people anymore. And the reason is because they're still out there doing the things I used to do, which was not right. And I just don't like being around those kind of people anymore. I like being around people.
Who have real drama, right? Like real issues, real things that are coming up, not something that they just blow up out of proportion, not something that they just, like when I come to you guys, like I have an issue. Like, what is going on? I have this issue, or this is what's happening. This is something that's out of my control, and I don't know how to process this. Like, I don't understand. Like, am I taking this too far? And that's part of self-reflection, is making sure you have a group of people that you can trust and you can go to and be like, well, listen, this was brought to my attention. And I did that this past week. I went to Renee, you were busy, or you would have been drugging. I went to Keith and Adrian, and I was like, hey, listen, am I blowing this out of proportion, or am I handling this correct? And you both were like, no, you're handling this correct. So I'm reflecting. I'm doing my shadow work before I do my shadow work before I make a choice, before I make a decision. So I look at how it's going to affect me, how it's going to affect Jesse, how it's going to affect the kids, how it's going to affect the grandkids. I look at everything before I make my decision on how to roll with it, because I don't do drama. And you know what, Keith? I could be in a bar with 500 people and everybody could come up to me with their drama and I'd be like, and I've always been like, well, what are you going to do about it?
Yeah. Does this need to be said? Does it need to be said now in this environment? And does it need to be said in the way that my brain is saying, rush it out of my mouth? Step back, practice the pause. No.
And not only that, sometimes people forget, are you saying that out of complete anger?
Anger, hatred, jealousy.
And those are and those are hidden aspects of everybody. I don't care what anybody says, if they've healed enough. No. Jealousy rears its head somehow, some shape, some way, in some kind of form. It's that you've got to learn to practice the pause, take a step back, look at it, and go, is this me, or is that them?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it a third party?
Party.
Usually putting it out there for everyone because they want everybody. Because you have to remember, a lot of people like chaos.
Yes,
And they live off of it and they need it. And
that's their normal.
some survive off of it.
Misery loves company.
Mhm.
Yes, yeah. Some people that is how they were brought up.
Yep.
Is in chaos. So therefore, that is their normal. It's not a red flag. That's normal.
Yep.
In ways, it was my normal growing up, early relationships. That's why I didn't see a lot of red flags with new partners. You know, if I broke up with one, I'd jump right into a relationship with another one. Turned out, same person.
Yep.
Same person. Different name, same person. But guess who was also the same person? You know,
You.
the common denominator. I'm the CD. I'm the common denominator. But I finally did some multiplication and some division and some geometry and all this other stuff. And I figured out that guess what? I was a big part of the problem. And I need to say, because I'm seeing somebody out there, maybe not tonight, but tomorrow, the next day, what gives you the right to give us advice? Okay, we are not psychiatrists. We are not doctors.
Nope.
We are not anything. Okay, but we have been through so much in our life that we have taught ourselves how to be a better person. We've got a lot of experience with it, so we try to use that to help everybody. So if we tell you to do something, if you do it, that's on you. Okay. It'd be cool if you did. Be cool if you did. All right.
I used to be the meanest person. Everybody thinks I'm so nice now. I'm just this
bitch.
okay. Yeah.
Everybody does.
Like so I forgot who said it. They said it a couple of weeks ago. You are such a saint. Well, you're also not my other half, right? My other half gets to hear the unfiltered, uncensored, mean, nasty things that come out of my mouth. Thank God he still loves me and he doesn't judge me. But Lord help me, my first ex-husband will call you. Yeah, Mark's like, I'll plead the fifth. My ex-husband will call you and tell you that I have silver tongue. That I could just completely tear you down and make you feel about this big and make you wonder why you're still breathing. And through shadow work, I had to learn that I am too brutally honest. I'm too cutthroat. So I had to learn how to tone it down and to become that shadow work.
I totally get that.
Sure you're not a Sagittarius because that's how we roll.
Well, and
I'm a Pisces. That's the bad thing.
The Scorpio, okay? I can be giving you advice, and it might sound like I'm ripping your ass, but I'm just kind of explaining something I went through to help you. To me, I'm just talking normally, but to them, it's too blunt. It's too tough. But to me, it's normal. It's how I talk. Okay, this happened. You did this. They said this. This is why, and this is what you need to do.
Yeah.
And I'm a tough shit kind of person. My kids will tell you that. I'll be like, tough shit. Tough shit. You know, that's the way they grew up. You know, mom, blah, 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 blah. Tough shit. You did it. You know, you paid the consequences.
That's the thing. We can do whatever we want. We can say whatever we want. Okay. But we are responsible to deal with the consequences. And if we don't do that, if we shove those consequences onto somebody else, it's not right.
No,
that's gaslighting. Right. It's all kinds of shit that I can't remember the name of.
So listening to Hallow, because I have the prayer app Hallow, Jeff Cavins went over something this week, and it was basically, you know, so you have a somebody who is a, say, dealer, and they deal this person this, and then this person expires, right? And we put it back onto the dealer. Are you feeding somebody else's sins? Right? And that's the way that I look at that. Are you feeding somebody else's sins? Are you helping them, enabling them? Are you, and that includes yourself, right?
Yes.
You have to look to see if you're an enabler. And that's one thing that I've been kind of guilty of, but when it comes to the grandkids.
Well, grandkids are different.
Yeah, they are. They're a different, completely.
They're a whole different breed and a whole different category of life.
Right.
That's how I look at it. Not speaking from experience.
They are, like, the grandkids can do no wrong. So not that they're my favorite. But
anyway,
I didn't say it out loud. But I don't enable. I try not to enable myself. I try not to enable others. And in that, what are you feeding yourself and what are you feeding others? Are you feeding that, okay, go get it attitude and let's get over it. Let's forgive. Let's move on. Are you representing that? Right? You have to represent the work you've done in your shadow work.
Mm-hmm. Integrity is a thing.
That's right. And then the most important thing that I can always tell somebody, so I'm dealing with this salesperson, right? And they turn around and they're apologizing. I'm so sorry. Don't apologize for somebody else's mistakes. Don't, because then you take the responsibility off of that person. And then that person can't work for it. They can't work to redeem themselves. They can't work on themselves. So never apologize for somebody. I don't care if you're in upper management or whatnot. There is proper ways of saying it without saying, I am sorry that this person's done this to you. Does that make sense? So in your shadow work, you need to put the apology where it belongs. You need to put the responsibility where it lays, right? I have food. Can you tell?
Yes.
And with that, I'm going to say this. When you're doing that shadow work, because I have done some of that, where you have to be okay with never receiving that apology that you think that you deserve and getting to make you feel better for yourself. But what's going to happen is you're just going to be upset at yourself because why can't they see the wrong that they did, that they are saying you did, when it didn't go down like that.
You know what?
And you have to be okay and understanding and not being so hard on yourself. If you never hear that, you may never hear that apology on their deathbed or any time. And you have to have peace with that for yourself.
Forgive them anyway. Forgive them for that apology that you never got. Forgive them for that closure when they ghosted you. Because you are not forgiving them for them. You are forgiving them for yourself. You are giving yourself peace, not them. You don't ever have to tell them you're forgiving them. You don't ever have to bring them back into your life. Just forgive them. It's going to give you peace. And Jen, you're having a hell of a time right there, aren't you?
She's such a bitch. I love her. Yeah, I do.
And that's one thing that took a very long time for me.
Me too.
To understand that I may never get, and I look at it now in multiple situations that I've had recently in my life, and you know what? And I'm okay with that, because if these said people come around again and knock on my door,
you'll take a pause. You'll see where they're at.
I'll take a pause.
See if they've learned anything. And okay, do I need to bring this person back into my life? Have they grown? Okay, fine. Let's take a look at that. But if they haven't, I gotta go. See you.
Yeah. Doesn't mean I don't respect you. Doesn't mean that I don't like you. Doesn't mean I want to wish ill will of you.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean that I'm going to cast shade or throw anything at you.
We don't do that
because I know better. I was taught better.
We will reflect it back to you if you send anything to us.
But
To teach
exactly. But if
to help
you,
you
I
learn.
mean, and I've always said that. Me, now this is probably where people are going to go, okay, Renee, you're a little crazy. Me, if you want to do that's fine. But my loved ones or my kid, all gloves are
Off
off.
limits.
My kid is off limits. The oak is off limits. Yep. Those are my hard. I will die on those hills.
Yeah, you guys are off limits.
I will die on those hills.
You know, my team. You are my team. Mm-hmm. My team is off limits. My team's family is off limits. You want these gloves to come off? I don't take them off very often, do I?
No.
But when I do, shit gets done.
Mm-hmm. Innocence. For me, it's innocence.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then I have this thing though. Forgive them for they not know what they do.
It's a thing because I didn't know what I was doing back then.
Right. I forget, you know, this has come up in the past week. I'll put it out there, my mother. I haven't spoke to her in 5 years. I'm more than likely not going to speak to her before she passes away. And I have somebody that comes visits me and they ask me, how are you doing with this? And I appreciate that because that it's not something that I talk to very many people about because what she's done is wrong. Absolutely 110%. But I have to say, I forgive her for she doesn't know what she's doing. She doesn't understand what she's done. And I have forgiven her. And that's been a hard row in my life is to forgive her for everything that she has done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgive her because it's made me a stronger person. It showed me how I want to be towards my children and my grandchildren. I forgive her because you know what? I pray for her healing. I pray for her peace. I can't imagine what it's like to be her and to live in such turmoil and chaos and everything that she's been through in her life. So I forgive her. Yet I'm not going to forget. And that's I'm okay with never speaking to her again. Mm-hmm. I'm okay with not, and I've been through some shit where you would want your mother. Yeah, I'm barely hanging on to life. And I just want to pick up that phone. But my shadow work, when I left that situation, I had to do hard shadow work. I had to do hard shadow work with her. I had to do hard shadow work with my soon to be, ex-husband, which, now I can go through with everything and do the paperwork. Everybody say yay.
Yay.
And I had to really hardcore reflect, and I had to see that I allowed it. I allowed it to happen.
Yes.
And that disappointment that I have in myself for not putting myself in a higher standard, that was hard to swallow.
You didn't know any better at the time.
I didn't, and I should have. I should have known better.
But were you taught better?
Yeah. Yeah, I was taught better. I guess, all in all, everything happens for a reason too. So I have to sit down and I have to think about that. I have a wonderful life. Not that I'm bragging and being like, I got the best life, but I have a good life for me. I have a great life for me. I am happy with where I'm at. I'm happy with who I'm with. I'm happy with the way that things have turned out. It may have been a shit road, but doing that work and doing that hardcore shadow work has allowed me to be a better partner and not project on to Jesse the things that happened to me. And trust me, it's easy, I've been through abuse, so I'm going to react that way. It's no excuse. I'm a living example of that. It's no excuse. It doesn't matter. That person is not the person that did that to you, so you can't put that on that person. And that's part of shadow work, is realizing that.
Yeah.
Realizing that you can't have that as an excuse anymore. And not that I ever used it as an excuse. Now, do I have certain triggers? Absolutely. And when those triggers hit, I have to do more shadow work. Why is it bothering me? Why is this coming up? Why is this feeling? Did he do something to trigger this? Or is it me? Because this is what I expect in my brain.
Or is it a past cycle coming back up?
Right. And how am I going to handle it?
But
how
it's
am
a
I going to
different,
handle the cycle?
but it's a different person. It's a different situation. It might be a similar situation, but it's not that situation.
And it gives me no right, even if it is a repeating cycle, to put it onto him, because he's the one that did it.
Right.
That's my tough shit, Janice. Tough shit. You need to fucking get over it. Sorry, I'm passionate about that. I'm not sorry. I'm passionate about that. That's part of the shadow work. It's just because somebody screwed. I would have no friends.
Let me go grab a piece of paper real quick. Can I? I'll be right back.
Does that make sense, Renee?
Yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense. I mean, it's the same way with my biological other half that, that gave me life. I mean, my mother has been a work in progress, and I'm thankful for that. But the other half, the biological sperm donor, no. And that's one thing that I've come to terms with, that I'm just going to be, which did it screw up my life? Oh, yes, because when you have daddy issues, right? Because what girl wants they want their daddy, they want their protector, they want their person that they can go to and say, hey, so-and-so did this, said this, or, let's go really to the left wall here. Well, Dad, my husband hit me, or this happened. You want that guy, you want that burly, because that's what you think of in your superhero, your father who's going to come in and save the day and just take all the boogeymans away, and that's something with me that in my life, was I always looking for somebody that was that way? Yep. And they always say that you're always going to end up with somebody that's either like your mother or like your father or have traits of them. Well, I got an oak who's nothing like my dad. And that's why I call him my oak, because he's there. It took a while, but I'm thankful that he's here.
You both had to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay.
Yep.
That's why I mentioned earlier, when you said somebody knock on your door coming back into your life, you have to examine the situation. You can't just assume that they are the same person they used to be. They may be, but they may not be. They may be where you are. They may be in process. They may need assistance.
Yep.
We don't know until we have that conversation. But I had to have a conversation with myself. And I had to forgive myself. I'm going to hold up a piece of paper. I don't know if it's going to show up right, if you're going to be able to see it, but I'll read it. Oh, yeah. There we go. Did they lie to you about who they were, or did you lie to yourself
about who they were?
Did you see their potential on how good of a person they could be, and lie to yourself about where they were? I can save them. I can save them. No. The only person that can save somebody is themselves. The only person that can help somebody is themselves. The only person that can make somebody happy is themselves. You can share happiness, but you can't make happiness for another person.
Exactly.
You can cover things up. You can bury them for them so they think they're happy. But eventually that real person is going to come out. Their mask is going to come off, and you're going to see that real person. And you may not like the situation you got yourself into.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see the potential in somebody all day long. Okay. But if they're not willing to do the work to help themselves to change, my last 9-month lesson, I started seeing red flags, and I actually realized they were red flags. They used to be my normal. They weren't red flags. Well, guess what? Now they're red flags. I can see them now. But I attributed it to, okay, we're still getting to know each other. Let's give it a chance. Well, I should have paid more attention, but I'm glad I didn't, because eventually that person had me climbing into a box, cardboard box, shutting all the lids. I couldn't talk to my family. I couldn't talk to my friends. I couldn't pick my phone up without, getting ripped. And I promised myself I would never end up in that situation again. And I had to stand up and say, hey, this isn't okay. Well, you're doing this and you're doing this and you're doing this. No, I'm not. You feel like this. No, this is how I feel. No, you don't. You feel like this. Okay, don't tell me how I feel. I am being honest with you. I'm telling you how I feel about this situation. Okay, this happened. It makes me feel this way. Can we figure out a way to work around it? I'm trying to work with you. Nope, I was the demon. Okay, fine.
So
thank you for that lesson.
I completely understand what you're saying. And let me rinse this out of my mouth.
Do it. Sorry. I'm so sorry.
That's what she said. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
I have this thing, and anybody who knows me well enough that I will tell you. I don't love you for who you were.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love you for who you could be. I love you right now in this moment.
The now moment.
The now moment. Loving somebody in the now. Now, Jesse is the perfect example of this, right? I'm happy to share my life with him. He does not determine my happiness, like you said. I determine my happiness.
Yes.
And that's how I handle the situations, right? That's how I work through stuff. He brings me joy. He brings me comfort, right? And he brings me happiness, but he is not what I count on for that happiness. Because tomorrow's never promised, right? So I'm not going to turn around and I'm not going to crawl up in a hole and die right next to him if something were to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm going to have to focus and live my life and continue with our plans, right? I am grateful that Jesse knew me, even in my darkest moments, to know and have the faith in me that I was going to pull myself out of that. And I was going to become the person that I was, but better.
He gave you time.
That makes sense. I just needed that time. I needed that moment to get over everything that had happened, to take a deep breath, and to come out a better person. And he knew me well enough to know that I had the capability of doing that. And that's what I was trying to do. And he just gave me that boost, right?
As long as you can boost somebody up and you can see that they are making that attempt, yay.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
Making progress.
Right.
Yes.
So give it time. But if they are not doing anything to help themselves, that's a line you got to look at. And Spirit just told me, everybody talks about unconditional love. You have to love somebody unconditionally. Well, unconditional love does not mean putting up with abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, verbal abuse. No, that's not love. That is not love. It's not love.
Nope.
So you You got to make a decision. Because if you're being physically abused and you need out,
Then get out.
you have to plan. You have to have a friend. Hey, can I sneak you a piece of clothing a week? Can I sneak you $50 a week? Can you help me with this? Find a mission that you can go to. Know where your police department is in case you need to run. You need to make that plan. I needed to say that for somebody. I don't know who.
You need to love yourself.
Yes.
You
You
gotta love yourself.
enough to get you or you and your children out of that situation. Unconditional love does not mean putting up with abuse.
And you
Not
know what?
Say that.
There is no such thing as unconditional love. We love with conditions because we have to have our boundaries.
We do.
You know, you have your small boundaries and you have your red line boundaries. And during your shadow work, you need to figure out what are your boundaries, what are your no-goes and hard lines. So you need your green, yellow, and red boundaries, right?
And those reds don't move.
No.
You don't push them forward and you don't let them go back.
No.
They stay. Those are hard red. Like I say, like I tell everybody, my boundaries are ones that I'm willing to die on, that I am not going to move.
Right.
I am
They're-
not.
they're-
There's no budging it.
That's your foundation.
Yeah.
That's your foundation. And you have to learn how to love yourself.
Mhm.
And that's part of shadow work. Shadow work is learning to love yourself. And then the next thing is don't go for the perfections in somebody.
Okay.
You asked me what I love about Jesse or my children. I love their faults. I love their imperfections before I love their perfections. Because if you can't accept the imperfections in yourself or in somebody else, because we're all not perfect.
Oh no.
We all learn.
There is
We
no
all
such
grow.
thing as perfect.
Then you can't love somebody else.
Mhm.
You can't love yourself.
If you can't love yourself, how can you love anybody else?
Yeah.
Agree.
You can think you do.
And I'm going to go right back to that is part of having faith too, because any faith will tell you that you need to love yourself.
Yeah.
And loving yourself.
You gotta love yourself. You have to have faith in yourself. You have to. If you don't, then you can't. If you don't have faith in yourself,
How are you
going to have faith in somebody else? How are you going to have faith in a higher power?
right? How are you going to grow if you don't have faith in yourself? And love in yourself and accept yourself? How do you expect to grow? And that's what shadow work is. Shadow work is reflecting back. So I can say, you know what, Janice, you've gained 30 pounds, but your heart's still the same.
Yeah.
It's more like 45. But, you know, I listen, I have a hard line with myself. Okay. All right. Like I have that hard line, and no, it's not vanity. It's because of my nerve disorder.
Yeah.
I still love myself, even though I've gained those pounds. I just got to work a little bit harder to get them off. Right. I may not like how I reacted to something.
Or that's just more for us to love. That's all that is.
Yeah. What is Jesse texting you right now?
No. No.
You sure? Because I know he can hear me through the doors.
Hi, Jesse.
Hi, Jesse.
But loving yourself and accepting yourself, you've got to do that shadow work, and you've got to work on that. That has to be, and forgiving yourself. Because if you can't even forgive yourself, you can't forgive others. You can't. It's so important. It is.
Classic example of that. My house fire. That day, Spirit said, "Get out of the house. Let it breathe." I heard that. Let it breathe. Okay. Guess what needs to breathe? A fire. I went through months of, if I'd have been here, maybe I could have saved my cat. Maybe I could save my dog. Maybe I could have got him out. No. no, I'd be right there with them. I had to realize.
We would have lost you too.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been here either. Because the same thing would have happened to me. I was going to go upstairs and take a nap. So I would have already been asleep. The fire was oxygen deprived. So that's what happened to them. They didn't suffer. They just went to sleep. And I'm thankful for that. But I really kicked myself in the ass for that for a while. Understandably. But eventually, through doing shadow work, I looked at every aspect of the situation. And I realized that if I would have been here, no, I wouldn't be here for my kids. I wouldn't be here for my grandchildren. I wouldn't be here for you. I wouldn't be here for my clients. I wouldn't be here for everybody else, my friends. I did the right thing in listening to spirit, and I got out of the house. And I went out to the lake, and I was making a funny video on Facebook to make people laugh as my house was burning down. How ironic is that? But I made it. I'm here. I'm in my house. I had to work. I had to do the shadow work. I had to go through a few dark nights of the soul. I had to get ghosted. I had to have this done to me. I had to have that done to me. But guess what? It got me to look at myself. And sometimes when something traumatic happens to you that you see as a bad situation, in a few months, in a few years, that fire was a blessing for me. It was a blessing in many different ways. So even though tomorrow you might wake up and your world might be ending, there's a reason for it. Be patient. Let it flow. Don't fight it. You get fired, fine. So Spirit, thank you. You have the opportunity of finding a better job. Your girlfriend breaks up with you. Fine. Thank you, Spirit. I have the opportunity to work on myself and heal. I could keep going on with examples. Don't fight. If you lose, don't fight to keep it. There's a reason it's leaving your life. Go through the shadow work to look at why. It's important.
I mean, and sometimes while you're in that shadow, you have to remember also too that you just might uncover a hidden talent that you didn't know that you had.
Yeah.
Right? You can become more creative. So it's not always like a lot of people say, oh, it's all doom and gloom. It's all bad stuff. It's jealousy. It's working on past relationships. It's not.
It's teaching.
It's teaching you too. I know some people that have done shadow work and can sit in front of a computer with a little light on and help people. And somebody, right? And somebody didn't know he had that talent a long time ago.
That sounds kind of familiar.
Sounds familiar, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. She might be talking about me. I'm not positive,
just might be.
But somebody told me I could do energetic healing, Reiki healing. And I said, I can't do that. They said, yes, you can. Somebody else told me you can do a show. Sit down in the chair. They tricked me. Here, sit down.
Sure did.
Guess what? You're doing the show tonight. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. I was red-faced and sweating bullets, but I got through it. And now I got my own show with some wonderful co-hosts. Thank you. Jan, Renee, Joni, we all get to help people. But I had to get over that initial fear. And how do you get over a fear? You just face it.
Yeah.
And I had some people that helped me do that. So now I can, like you said, sit in front of a computer with that little light up on top, that little white light, that's my camera.
Yep.
But the way I do it is, okay, I'm sitting here with 3 people. I'm just talking. I don't look at it as there might be, hundreds of views later, watching me talk, or, 20 people watching. It's us. As comments come up, we hey, Ronnie, how you doing? Sorry, didn't see you pop on there. Got your jaw jacket. But, I'm not a public speaker. I am not. I am not a talker. I'm a Scorpio. We say, I went to Walmart, got what I needed, and I'm home. That is my complete conversation.
Mhm.
Other people will talk to you for 2 hours about their trip to Walmart that took 10 minutes. And I can't handle that. But if you want to talk to me about real life issues that you're having, I'm good with that. Jan, I can talk to you for 5 hours, can't I? Renee, I can talk to you for fucking hours, can't I?
Mhm.
And I learn in the process. So I appreciate that. And thank you for trusting me enough to ask me for help. And thank you for being there when I needed assistance, because you both know how bad I am at asking for help. But sometimes
Oh.
when you're going through shadow work, you may need, as a hair standing up my arm, an outside opinion of someone you trust completely. Not,
Mhm.
hey man, this is happening. What do I do? Let's go to the bar, get drunk, get light. No, that's not what you need. Okay. My drinking buddies back then, that's what they would tell me. No, that's not what I'm after. That's why probably 90% of my friends are female, because they will not tell me that. Thank you for that. Thank you for listening to me and actually making me see, oh, hey, I might have had something to do with that. I
Mhm.
appreciate that. Call me on my bullshit. I appreciate it. I might not be happy at the time, but a week later, I'm going to be working through that shadow work, and that light's going to go off. Hey, thanks, Renee. Thanks, Jen.
Yep.
It's a thing.
I kind of understand the whole house fire thing and doing the what if and whatnot. You got to set those what ifs aside and realize that everything does happen for a reason, and it's for growth. The night that Pat died, what did I do? I mean, for a few days, I sat there and went, what if? What if I would have known? What if I would have woke up? What if I would have done this? What if I
Yeah.
would have done
What if I would have pulled that last cardboard box flap down and just totally disappeared off the planet to stay in that relationship so I didn't have to be alone?
Right.
That would have never happened, because I was ready to jump on a plane if I had to. I was ready to be that white knight and go out to you and go out.
Thank you.
Because I saw it coming.
Yeah, I did, but I didn't. I was still learning the flags.
Yep.
But I since then I have been able to step away from several new possible relationships, because no, that's a repeating cycle, and that person, I can see their potential, but they can't see their potential. They are refusing to do the work on themselves, even though I am planting seeds that they need to do this work. So no, thank you. I don't need to go through that again. I am not afraid to live alone anymore. Do I get lonely at times? Yeah, but I'm not afraid to be alone anymore. That was doing my shadow work. I learned that was my biggest fear in my life, was being alone, which is what got me in trouble in the first place.
I feel comfort being alone. I feel comfortable and just the even okay, so like I miss the kids when the kids are gone and it's just me at the house and Jesse's at work, and I have this blonde thing that's sitting next to me who wanted my food, who's now sulking. I feel comfort in it, though. I think for my whole entire life, there was always so many people drawn to me, so many people around me, so many people wanting something from me, that I feel that aloneness and I just breathe. And then I know I'm not alone.
Hang on, the gears are working. It'll be really quick. I like being alone. I'm Scorpio. I don't like to people. I like being alone, but I want somebody to be alone with.
You want to share in that lonely. Yeah. I mean, for me, Jesse being gone and coming home I appreciate him when he comes home. Now I'm looking at having him come home every night. And that's exciting to me.
Nice.
You know, that it's been a couple of years, since I've had him every night. And but during those, I grew as a person. I grew, taking care of the house, learning how to do, I look at everything. Like I
You had time to do your shadow work and learn about yourself.
right. And still know that he's there. Right.
Yeah. If you are constantly
Up
in
somebody's ass.
space, neither one of you are going to do your shadow work. And it's just going to be a clusterfuck, continuous clusterfuck.
See, and and I agree with that. I had that alone time when we were first together. When I had my breakdowns, my screaming, my fits, my panic attacks, my anxiety, and I didn't have anyone except for what, a Weena. Weena was like 2, not even. What is she gonna do? She just wanted titty. She's like, hey, mom, it's titty time. So like I'd be sitting there crying, breastfeeding her, and she'd pat me on my face like, it's okay, I got tit. Don't worry, mom. I'm good.
As Renee leans back and goes like this.
Everybody breastfeeding.
Breastfeeding. I breastfed her.
Breastfeeding.
So I just had myself. And then Jesse was able to come home, and I had him every night, and that was great, and that was wonderful, and I appreciated it. And then we went to Utah and whatnot. And then we came back here. And then I have, a crisis where my life was on the line. And I had to sit here and I had to pull through it. And you know what? I can sit there and say I did it. And I don't blame him for not being here, because somebody had to put a roof over my head, and I understand that. Somebody had to put food on the table and clothes on the back, and he did it, and he did it with grace. And I know he struggled because he wanted to be here.
I think he's also proud of the fact that he could do that, and he knew he could trust you to do what needed to be done at the house while he was out providing. But I think he enjoys providing.
Yes.
For you.
Yes.
I'm just feeling that it makes him proud, and then he knows he can come home and be appreciated, and he's also very appreciative of that fact. And I'm not going to break down right now because that's not my feelings. I'm just going to back myself out of that. Love you, buddy. Love you, brother. Okay. Sorry. Didn't mean to enunciate your feelings. I apologize.
Well, and that's what shadow work has gotten us, right? The shadow work has gotten the fact that, he worked through a lot of his problems, he worked through a lot of his issues. He worked through a lot of his right? And he knows that I'm not out running around on him. He knows that when he comes home, the house might be a little bit of a mess, but I try my hardest to make sure that he comes home to a clean house. It's never really a disaster. I make sure that, I'm not out spending his money left and right. Now, him, on the other hand, I thank God we balance each other out that way. But it took a lot of work, and this is what shadow work gets you, right? The truth of it is the hard work. You will be rewarded, and I have been rewarded with that partner. That we give each other that balance, and now he gets to hopefully come home for the next, say, 6-8 months every night, and I get to share my life with him even more. And he gets to share his life with me. I don't live a life for him. He doesn't live a life for me. We live our lives and we bring it together.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
Absolutely.
just.
Yeah, you've got a balance. But it takes time, it takes work to get to that balance.
Yeah.
And then understanding. And if you got to do your shadow work on yourself, your partner has to do the shadow work on themselves, He had time alone to work on himself. You had time alone to work on yourself. You had time together to see how that was working. And if it wasn't working, you stepped back and looked why. If it was, you look back, look at why.
And then we reflect together, right?
Yes.
So here's the thing is you don't need to just, you can do shadow work in your relationship.
Yes.
That's
together.
Yeah.
It's okay. This happened and it made me feel this way. What can we do to keep that from happening in you? And this is why it made me feel this way. Okay, you can share that because they're going to need that understanding. Okay, I thought that was normal. Why did it make you feel this way?
Right.
That could be your shadow work coming up from the past, a past cycle, a past traumatic experience saying, hey, I'm kicking the door in. Okay, hey, I'm having a minute. I need to figure this out. Can you help me? Don't talk to win an argument. Talk and listen to understand how your partner actually feels. I don't need to win anything. I don't want to win anything. I want to help my partner.
I do want to win. I want to win to go to the next step with you.
Well, there's that.
Right?
There's that.
I want to win together. We are a team, right? And your team, you need to communicate with the team. So, and I'm sure Renee understands this, but I don't argue with Jesse. I don't. There is no argument. We may have a disagreement, but if I feel that argument brewing, I go, I love you. I'm upset right now, and we will handle this later. Let me work through it. Click.
Can I have a timeout?
I love you, though. I always say I love you.
Yes. I need a timeout so I can think.
And I put myself in timeout like I did last night.
And
For example,
with my last lesson, I would attempt to put myself in timeout. Hey, this is really getting me aggravated. Give me 10 minutes. Let me go outside, have a smoke, go walk around the block. Let me come back and we'll continue the conversation. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, fine. Deal with it.
And that's parenthood too.
Yeah, with your kids.
Shadow work in parenthood. You got to look at your kids are not perfect, right? No. We think that they're perfect.
You can put your kids in timeout. You can put yourself in timeout.
Yeah, I have struggles with all of my kids, but like last night, well, Weena, let me tell you what, she was digging it in, and even at 7 years old, I went,
enjoys it.
Do what?
She enjoys it. She enjoys digging under your nails.
She's so
I have
wonderful.
seen that smile.
Yeah, that
evil. Oh, I'm getting there.
Renee's laughing because she knows it too. But what do? I put myself in timeout. Oh, and everybody knew I was mad. The doors were slammed. I wasn't talking to anybody. It was leave me alone until I can calm down. And then she comes in here. And then it's, you see this picture I drew. You're breaking my heart, Mom. You're breaking my heart. So all I want is a hug.
And what do?
I looked at her and went, really? What about the 50 snacks that you wanted? I told you no. What about the fact that I tried to put on a good movie and you about it? What about, and she's like, my heart is breaking.
Because she knows what strings to pull.
And I have to take a deep breath and I have to understand that she's 7. She is a girl.
Yep.
She is emotion writing on top of emotion.
Who is very gifted.
Right. And that, you know what, maybe she's just a little overwhelmed and we need to put her back in the center of attention for a second. And we need to wrap her up in that family hug and go, you are loved, Weena. Oh man, but let me tell you what, shadow work as a parent, and that goes with my oldest. My oldest, I have to realize he's emotion upon emotion upon emotion.
Yeah.
Okay. My first ex-husband, Travis. Okay. I talk about him. I love my ex-husband. I really do. He's great. He will tell you that every single one of the kids is one of my personalities just sliced. So
Well, I was just going to bring something up about that.
yeah.
I, doing my shadow work, going through my healing journey, I saw that I was not the best parent in the world. Gonna leave it there for many different reasons. But I also have to look at where my children ended up at. And I'm very proud of them. I did something right somewhere. And they are very good people. But I also have to understand that they had another person raising them at the same time. And when that aspect comes up in them, it triggers me because I see my ex, the mother of my children, coming out in them. And yes, it pisses me off because that is the moment when they are doing things that they probably shouldn't be doing. And I have to figure out a way to not reprimand, but teach in a way that I'm just going to plant a seed and allow them to see and understand and do their own shadow work in order to understand why that behavior may not be appropriate anymore or at that time. Maybe instead of screaming at the kid, you just need to say, hey, come here, let's sit down. Let's talk about what happened. This is why that was wrong. Let's not do that anymore. Instead of just snapping. Have I done that? Yes, I have. Did I used to try not to do that? Yes. Why? Because my dad, my mom, wait till your father gets home. Okay. Dad, just sit me down, talk to me. Okay, your mom said this happened. This is why we don't do that. We good? Okay. But my dad was also a walking bottle of vodka growing up. He really didn't want the responsibility. He wanted the responsibility. He wanted to be there, but because of his upbringing, he wasn't able.
And that's the other thing. Go ahead. Sorry.
It's okay. It wasn't until after his death that I actually got to have a conversation with him and understand everything that he went through. And now I have a completely different understanding of my father. And I have apologized for things I said to him, apologized for things that he's done. He's apologized to me. We have a very good relationship. When I need him, I see 1010. That's his birthday, 1010. 101041. I see monarch butterflies. When the day of his funeral, I went to the park and I walked way back in the woods and I sat down on this log and I had probably 500 monarch butterflies land on me on the log. And I have during the summer, not during the winter, naturally, but I have certain butterflies that just hang out all the time in the driveway and I can go out and they'll land on me and land on my truck right next to me. They're there. Yellow swallowtails. They'll fly through a tree a certain way and tell me a direction to go. That's Dad. He's like, okay, he sees the butterflies. That's how I'll help him. As far as shadow work, okay, what is Spirit trying to show me? It's using your intuition to see which way you need to go, what you need to look at.
You're introspective.
Yes.
Of yourself.
Yes.
During shadow work, you got to separate yourself from yourself.
Yes, and that's difficult.
And that's huge. And I have to say that, even you know, what shadow work has done for me is, you know, improve my relationship with, say, my ex-husband. So when I do look at, say, the kids and stuff and see things that they're doing, I can pick up the phone and be like, hey, Travi, listen, you might want to sit down with the boys and tell them that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, we went through that. And I have to give my ex-husband credit because he may not call it shadow work, but he's a pretty good self-reflector now.
Good.
And he can reflect back and he can go, you know what? Yeah, we kind of did it that way. And let's not see our kids make that same mistake. And we can have that open-ended conversation. And that's what shadow work gets you, right? If you do it right, you do it properly, you can pick up the phone and you can be, you know, if you have an ex-husband or ex-wife and say, hey, listen, the kids are kind of messing up. I don't know if they've told you, but this is what's going on. And we need to help them see that if we would have done it this way, or if we would have learned to let go, and let's help our children grow. And yes, I adore this aspect of you, Travis, and I adore the fact that it's in the kids, but let's kind of teach them how to curb it. Like, I mean, and he does the same thing with me.
I can actually do that with Shane, my second wife, second ex-wife. Me and her can sit down and have a conversation about our daughter, our grandkids, and we can really get along and make progress. My first wife, no, I'm done. I have my reasons. I have set my boundaries. I am done, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And here's Renee. She's like, and I have the oak, and the oak has been there, but I'm sure you see that with your son, right? Like you see where you sit down with the oak and go, you know what? Maybe we should correct this now.
Mm-hmm. And
Maybe
I mean, I'm a Sag. He's a Capricorn. The baby oak is a Pisces, Aquarius, Pisces.
I'm a Pisces. I get it.
So
there's certain aspects that get along. There's certain aspects that don't get along. You have to learn how to deal with each other.
They have the 5 love languages, which is what I recommend for anybody, whether it be yourself, to learn how you love. They have the 5 love languages for your partner, and then the 5 love languages with parenting. Those 3 books I recommend hard. Like if I could sponsor those books, I would. If I could buy all of those books and just hand them out to people, the world would be a huge, better place.
Yeah.
Because, like, for example, with the baby oak, I don't know. I'll have to figure him out. We're at a different season and a stage coming from a mom and a son right now. You know, because he was mama's boy, mama's boy, mama's boy. Now he wants to be papa. He wants to be papa, 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 papa. He wants nothing to do with me. And that right now, and where I'm at, it's like, really? Don't do this to me now. Because, like, I remember myself at that age going, if I just had my mom.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you just a different aspect of it. He knows he has you and he feels comfortable with you enough to be like, okay, I need my dad now. And he knows that you were always in his corner. That's something hard because I understand coming from mama boys. Because there's going to be one day that Weena's going to look at me and be like, I just want dad. Oh, wait, she does.
I was going to say that she does now. I mean, but, you know, there's one thing I do want to touch about that usually a lot of people don't talk about when we're doing shadow work. Because it's always work, 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 work. How about signs that you've actually done it?
Mm-hmm.
And you've achieved what you wanted to.
Be proud of yourself.
You know?
That gives you a goal. Hey, I did this. Mm-hmm. Even if it's something little, I did this.
Yeah.
Okay, now it's on to the next level.
I don't need anybody to be proud of me. I'm proud of myself.
That's important.
That's when the shadow work works, right, Renee? Is when you can turn around and say, I am proud of me.
Yes.
Look at what I've been through.
If you got out of bed, be proud of yourself. If you got in the shower, be proud of yourself. If you went to work, be proud of yourself.
I mean, if you can see and appreciate multiple perspectives, you've done shadow work. Right? If you can be, this is one that I've worked on, and I've gotten, just because Sages are very blunt and will tell you what you've done wrong.
Yep.
What you're doing wrong and what you're going to go do wrong.
Yes.
Before anybody. If you can, like, for me, if I can be assertive without being rude, I've done my shadow work.
Yeah. And it's difficult.
And it's very difficult.
Especially when you're part Scorpio too. I am Scorpio, Aries, Sag.
Yeah,
and it is a hell of a combination.
I'm a bunch of fire with a little bit of water in the middle.
That temper, it hits. So I had to learn to practice the pause. Okay, we don't need this right now. What we need to do is look at the situation and think about what we actually need to do or say right now. Do we need to turn around and walk away and make them wonder why? Make them actually think about what they just said? Or do we need to verbalize what automatically wants to come out, which is going to rip their world apart? Or do we just need to say, hey, I'm not ready to have this conversation yet. I need a time out. I'll talk to you in a bit. It's difficult to learn.
And I'm one of those, I don't like confrontation.
I don't either.
I'll handle it. But you want to see the annoyed side of me? Is confrontation. You know, especially when somebody comes at me with attitude, like, hey, confrontation. I get very.
Tell me you don't do the head bob thing.
I don't. I talk with my hands and I get very.
Yes.
And I don't like confrontation because doing shadow work, I realize that I'm, like I said, not nice.
As long as
I'm not nice. I'm afraid of what's going to come out of my mouth. Because if I spoke in here during confrontation, so during confrontation, you'll see me and I'll just shut my mouth. And then when I go to open it, I'll get really snappy and I'll get this toot. And it's because I'm trying to hold back. Like, so for me, like, that's one thing I have to work on in my shadow work is the confrontation and then bringing up touchy subjects, because I don't like uncomfortable situations.
Yeah.
I will handle them.
But
most of the time I will put that on Jesse, because I'm not, he's nicer than I am, which is hard to say. It really is, because he's a Taurus. And he's nicer than I am. And I'm a Pisces through and through. Like, everything about me, my name, Janice, is looking at both sides of the situation. Lynn is river. You know, everything about me is, you know, go with the flow. But deep down inside, I am a mean person. So confrontation is just something I.
Yeah. Taurus is the opposite of Scorpio. I don't really get along with Tauruses. But I love the hell out of that man.
God, he's so different.
Okay. There are different aspects to every sign. Your base level, your mid-level, your risen. And I had a whole spiel I was going to go into. And all of a sudden, it is gone. Give me just a second. Oh, the talking with your hands thing. You know, when I'm on the show and my hands start doing this and I start looking up here, that's spirit coming through. That's not me talking. That is spirit. And I'm not going to remember what the hell I just said. And you'll notice that a lot in Drunken Oracle, just saying, oh, see what I did there?
Nice. Renee's laughing.
That wasn't a shameless plug.
As long as I am speaking to you, as long as I am verbal, everything is good. If I stop talking, I need to walk away. If I am silent, I need to walk away because my temper is hitting, and it is to a point where I'm not going to be able to control it unless I walk away. And that's when that base level protective ass Scorpio comes out, and I will knock your head off. I haven't done that in a long time. I am very proud of myself. I have not verbally abused anybody else and told them exactly who they are and what they're doing wrong in a very long time. I have said, I need a timeout at work. I need 5 minutes. And I walk off. I don't ask for permission. I need 5 minutes, and I walk off.
So
I come back and I'm better. Then I can talk again, and we can work on finishing the conversation. But there are times when I need to walk away because I know what I'm capable of, and I'm not proud of that fact, but I know. So I have to protect not only myself, but others from who I can be, because I've been working a very long time on becoming who I was supposed to be instead of who I became. And that's not an easy journey.
That's where I'm grateful for my other half, and I'm sure that there's more than one person out here who can understand. I may not verbally abuse I don't verbally abuse him, but he knows that I'm not yelling at him. I'm yelling to him, and that's a huge difference. And
There's
like
venting and there's not venting.
right, and that's where I'm
See,
glad that
I need to vent.
if I don't understand something, I get stuck on it and I beat it and I beat it and I beat it and I beat it until I can understand the whole aspect. Because sometimes I just, if I don't understand it,
I will see a situation coming before it happens, and I will go over every aspect of how that conversation, how that situation can be handled. The words, the conversation, everything. 500 different ways until I come up with the way it's going to happen.
Yep.
And generally, I'm right. And I attempt to have it in that way that it needs to happen, but the other person won't allow it. So it happens in the way that I see it happening.
And that's where I'm grateful for Jesse, because I can verbalize that over and over and over again. And I apologize to him. I'm like, I'm sorry. I know I'm obsessing about this. I know I am beating this up. And I think that he has the patience to sit there and go, okay. And I'm sure it wears on him at times. And then I let it be. And then I come at him, say like a day later, and I'm like, okay, this is the reason why. And he'll look at me, I know, honey. I know that this is the reason why. And I appreciate that.
He figured it out.
Able to do that. But that's where it's also important to have that person that you trust during your shadow work and during your times of reflection and on how you're going to handle a situation. And at this point, I know the situation that we're in right now, it's not going to end well. And I'm preparing for the consequences of it. And understand that during your shadow work, sometimes you have to face the consequences.
Yeah.
You just have to accept them. The cards are what they are, and you've got to do what you've got to do. And accepting consequence and looking at the fact that every action has a reaction, and that reaction is a consequence. Whether it is a good consequence or whether it is a bad consequence, there's always a consequence. Learn from that consequence, though. You may see it coming and you may prepare yourself for it, but you still have to learn from that consequence.
Yeah.
And you still have to grow from it. And then when the situation arises the next time, if it worked out, hopefully it doesn't, but situations tend to have a repeating cycle.
Yes.
You know how to handle it, and you may handle it better. Just know that consequences are just learning experiences. It's like putting your hand on the stove, right? You can be told 50 million times not to put your hand on the stove. You go to put your hand on the stove, you burn yourself. Tough shit, right? I got one of those right here from the oven.
Watch out when you, when you put the lead in the machine, it might pop back out. Just saying.
Right. But what do? You go, well, you know what? Okay, I know that the spring on the oven door isn't what it should be, and maybe next time I need to fully open it when I go to stir the potatoes. You know, does it suck? Does it hurt? Absolutely. Right now it's itching. But eventually it heals, right? Everything heals. Even emotionally, mentally, physically, heal. That's what shadow work is about, is healing yourself, healing your relationships, healing everything. And I mean everything, whether it's friendship, whether it's friendship with yourself, loving others, accepting others the way that they are, knowing that they're not going to change. That's part of shadow work.
Yeah.
And just love. Don't hate. Leave it. Just love.
That's something I did today. Yes, I called into work. Yes, I had reasons to. They may not understand my reasons to. It was to protect myself. It was to protect them. It was to protect the machinery. But I also had to do my shadow work and understand, okay, I dropped the ball. I forgot to charge my grid, and something got through. I am not untouchable. I am not. I have to keep.
And if anybody thinks that that they are, sorry, that's bullshit. I will call you on your bullshit. I will call you on your bullshit.
Yes.
You can be untouchable by the way you let it affect you. Yes. That's where you can be untouchable. But that doesn't mean that somebody's not going to try reaching out and touching, and then they finally get you get touched, right? It's how you react to that.
Yeah.
And that's huge.
Instead of snapping and doing something negative to that person, and I know who that person is. I sat on my couch watching the show, and I just let things come. Okay, let's light that candle. They're not going to have a good day tomorrow. That is not revenge. That is, okay, this is what you sent me. I am lighting this candle and returning that gift to you. I refuse it. Okay? I am returning it. But I am returning it in a responsible way. You need to feel this, because that is what I was feeling. You need to feel this too, to understand not to do that to other people. You need to look at yourself. Why did you need to do this to me? Why did you need to send what you sent? Why? You're there. I wish you luck. I hope you survive. I hope you grow. I hope you flourish.
I want you to have peace. I want you to be happy. I want you to have I want every single wish, desire, or
yes,
whatever you want for yourself and your significant others, friends, family. I want everything for you.
Yeah, but
just like I would hope that you would want that in return with me.
But if they are refusing to do their shadow work in order to grow as a person, may you be blessed and highly
favored.
That is a prayer, asking Spirit to help that person. May you be blessed and highly favored, so they can see what they need to do the shadow work on. And you're going to have to give me one of these. That's a tally mark. I'll be right back.
I'm sorry. I had to. You know, and that's the other thing too with shadow work, is people think that it's like this cookie. Everybody has it. Like I see, like everybody holding an A cookie cutter. It may be an A for me. It may be a J for Jan. It may be a Z for Keith. It's what fits you and your mold. It's not all going to be the same thing. I'm going to process it differently than Jan. Jan's going to process it differently than Keith. Keith may process it totally different than all of us.
But the end goal is the same, right? And
the end goal is always the same, which is to be a better human being.
And that's where I know everybody, Adrian tells me all the time, I just don't know how you just leave it with love. How do you just leave it with love? I leave it with love because that's what I choose. I choose not to bring that negativity. I choose not to bring that hate. I choose to just say, you know what? I am going to love you. And see, and that's all right. So everybody thinks that Jesus was this nice, calm, cool, collected person. He wasn't. He'd make you eat your words, right? But he would do it with love.
I mean,
That's
he walked into the temple and flipped tables.
right.
That's what I tell everybody. Oh, he was such a loving, caring man. He came in and he flipped tables and lost his shit
Look,
because what was
right.
what was going on in his church?
When they were gathering the wheat, well, you can't be doing that. Well, are you telling us blah 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 blah? And it wasn't being righteous. And that's the thing is you can't even be righteous when you do your shadow work. You have to be righteous.
Yes, because if you're walking around thinking that you're all that in a bag of chips while you're doing it wrong. You're not doing it the proper way. You're doing it ass backwards. Because if you're walking through that with there's walking through shadow work with your head held high. I get that. But if you have this, I did it and it's one and done and I solved everything and I'm a better person, but I'm a better person than you. You did it wrong and you didn't do it proper.
I'm a better person than who I used to be.
Yes. But I'm not better than anybody else.
No.
But I am not below anybody else either.
Right.
Yep.
Every human being is equal to me. And that's what I have to look at. I am a sinner. How I sin is how I sin, and I need to recognize my sin and I need to correct my sin, right? Everybody sins. I can't sit there and go to confession and be like, so I'm perfect. No, like, Father, forgive me. You know what? I thought about taking my truck and ramming it into the person in front of me because they couldn't go the speed limit and I needed to pee. Forgive me, Father, for my road rage because you know what? In that moment, I was angry. No, I didn't want to be stuck in the road. I was stuck in the truck with kids, and I understand that the thoughts that I had were wrong. Forgive me because I am road rage. I am silent road rage.
I get there too, but after I get out of the situation, I look at my rear view or in front of me, whatever, and say, I hope you have a safe day. And then I can calm down. I wish them well. And then I can go on and not sit there and fret about it and rip their ass apart. Does it piss me off? Yes. If I got to poop and I'm on the way to work and I'm 10 miles from work, guess what? I gotta go, and you need to either get to the speed limit because you're only doing 45, or pull over because the cars are coming and I can't pass, and there ain't much I can do except pull off on a gravel road and find a bush. And I'm not seeing any bushes, just saying. And if I do that, I'm gonna be late for work.
And
so you need to move.
I'm one of those that if we're in a no pass zone and I see someone trying to pass me, I will kindly ride in the center of the line. I'm just saying, I got a big truck and I swerve it.
You're teaching.
That's right. Teaching
it's a learning opportunity.
It
You're
is.
planting a seed.
Yep.
You are triggering that person so they can do their shadow work.
I want to plant something else. So I can't sit here and say I'm a perfect person. I can't sit here and say I'm without sin. Right? But, I try. Yeah, I try. I try. And that's the thing is that, if you walk with love and you love yourself and you try your hardest to be the best person, don't go, I don't understand why this is happening to me because I'm a really good person. You know what? Shit happens to the best of us. What is it? The good die young?
Shit happens to good people too.
You just,
it all depends on how you look at it.
And do that shadow work and look at it and say, you know what? Okay, is it really that big of a deal? If it is, how am I going to work through this? Do I want to handle this? If you can't, then just leave it. Just leave it.
Mm-hmm.
Take that off of your plate. and that's
Sure.
what shadow work is coming about, is having that balanced.
Yeah, this happened. Thank you, Spirit. I attached an emotion to this. I've worked through it. I don't need that emotion attached to this memory anymore. Thank you for that lesson. I release that emotion, not the memory. Not the, I need the lesson and what I learned, but I'm releasing the emotion from it.
And
Thank you.
And Thanksgiving's coming soon, so you better clear that plate off. Thanksgiving. Be thankful. Fill your plate with what you were thankful with this retrograde. Fill your plate full of all the blessings that you've had over the past year. That's what I'm teaching the kids all this month is, let's be thankful. What does the word thankful mean? And during this retrograde, the reason why it's so short, maybe it's because we just need to look at what we're thankful for and what we're grateful for.
Yeah, I am thankful that I got through my surgery. I am thankful that I was able to get my implants. Did I have to work my ass off in order to do that? Yes, I did. Was having that surgery pleasant? No. It was supposed to be very easy. You'll be back to work here, and it didn't happen that way. I was hurting, and I can take a lot of pain, and I was hurting. But that's okay, because I also needed to sit back
and
digest, reflect on some things. Okay. Did I have to take a loan out at an enormous interest rate in order to get my implants? Yes, I did. Why? Because of my past financial activity and abuse. Why? Because I allowed other people in my life to not add to the financial situation and be, I can never see this word,
reciprocal.
Yes. Thank you. So I allowed myself to get into a very large financial bind, and then I had to file bankruptcy. Guess what? I allowed myself to get into this situation. Could I have said, hey, you need to step up? Yes. My last lesson. Did I? Yes. Did it go over well? No. Okay. That is an aspect that I need to look at in this relationship. Do I need to continue this relationship, or do I need to set a boundary? Right. Well, I have to set a boundary, and my next relationship will be reciprocal. Before we get into this is what I expect. What do you expect? I want to know. I'm interested what they want out of me, because I need to know if I am able to give them what they need. It's all part of the process. But we need to do shadow work on ourselves. We need to do shadow work on our relationships, like Jan said, and you said, Renee. And if we don't, shit's going to fail. You're going to fail yourself.
Yep.
And that's the last person that you want to fail is yourself. You are the first person that you need to help. After that,
you can't help nobody else if you can't help yourself.
Yeah, if your cup's not
you
full,
can't love anybody. You can't love yourself.
Nope.
Let your cup runneth over.
Okay.
Hold your cup. What? You can't pour an empty cup
on a saucer. And when that cup runs over, feed off of that saucer. Don't empty your cup, because then you got to build it all the way back up here while people are trying to drag you down. And that's a bitch. Don't let yourself get down there.
Oh, that is a bitch.
I just did that. That's what I'm recovering from today. I put out too much without filling my own cup back up with what I've got going on at work. I changed departments. I'm relearning things. I'm learning new things, learning new machinery, how to operate it, what goes wrong with it. I was a bit overwhelmed. It was a lot more physical than what I thought it was. Right after finally getting off restrictions from my surgery. So there was that worry about re-injuring myself, but I had to do the job. So it was a good week, but it was a rough week. But I needed today to sit back and think about it. Is this something I can keep doing?
Did you hear Zelda's response?
That's what I heard. That I was like, ooh, ooh.
Okay, now that you explained that, yes, I did hear it. But I have to do my own shadow work on, am I still physically able to do this? I broke my back, I broke my neck, my skull was knocked off my spine, my shoulders are screwed, my wrist is screwed. I've done a lot of that to myself by pushing myself. Do I need to do that anymore? Do I need to find something else? Would I be letting the company down since they gave me the opportunity to go to this better department? And in a lot of ways, it is a better department. A lot less stress. Not going to go into why, but there's different difficulties that I have to face now. Can you still do this, Keith? And it's okay to say, okay, no, I can't. I got to find something else. And that's all right. Will I have to do some adjustment with my finances? Possibly. It'll all work out. I'll get through it. I'll figure it out. I always do. That is my favorite saying. I'll figure it out. I always do. I always have. I've always gotten through. Somehow, some way, sometimes with the help of others. And thank you for your help in getting me to accept that help.
Everybody needs help, huh?
Yes, we do. But on that note, I have to help myself get to bed. I gotta wind down, get ready.
Thing, obviously.
What's that?
I've got to go love on this thing, obviously.
Oh yeah, yeah. That needs cuddles.
She does. She's so abused.
Oh, I know. Zelda. Hi, Zelda. What's up?
So I'm proud of you guys.
Hey, Denise.
Of everybody watching and everybody that will be watching. I'm proud of you. Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Yeah.
And thank you for thinking while you're watching, because I know a lot of you did. And like I put in the comments, if somebody's got a question that they don't want to ask it. No question is stupid. The only stupid question is the one that's not answered. So if we don't see it right now, we'll see it later eventually, or we'll answer it on the next show. I don't know. But next week is me and Joni talking about the astrology of November. And it's nuts. It is nuts up there right now. So that will be next Monday night. But we are getting ready to schedule a guest very soon. I have talked to said guest, who is very enthusiastic about coming on the show. And that is Thundercleese Matty Holden. He is a shaman. He is an energy worker. He is part of the Spirit Mechanics. And he wants to come on and talk. So I'm really looking forward to that. I gave him the dates we have left in this month and next month. So he is looking at that, and he's going to let us know. So as soon as that happens, I will get it scheduled, and we will get it out there. I'm excited.
Because this is my little Thundercleese.
She brought props.
I always have something.
I do too. I haven't put all of them up, but yeah, I do.
Which is nice because I've never really talked to the man. So
you're gonna love him. You're gonna love him. And I have to throw this out. The first time I met the man, I was at Scarefest. Okay.
We have to find that picture.
And I think I got it. But
put that picture up.
When we hit that town, and I got with Steve, and the others in town, we were headed to the event. I'm like, Steve, I'm seeing yellow everywhere. I'm supposed to find something yellow. He's like, okay, well, we'll keep our eyes out. After the event, we go out back to get on the bus to go to the after party. And I see this yellow jogging suit walking down the road. That's all I can see is a yellow jogging suit. Okay, Thundercleese has a better tan than I am. I'm going to say that. Say it that way. But all of a sudden, he got closer, and then I saw teeth. He smiled. I'm like, dude! And you know how on Dirty Dancing, she did the run up and he lifted her up?
There's a picture.
Out of the blue, we did that. And there is a picture. I just run up to get him a hug, and he lifted me up like, oh, okay. He is an awesome individual. I can't wait to get him on here and talk.
You said the jogging witch.
What's that?
You said, sorry. The second I turn my back, she's licking my plate. Something else. You said yellow jogging suit, and all I could think of was the monkey.
Oh, yeah.
What's his name, Renee? George?
Renee with a monkey.
Oh, that's Curious George.
Curious George, but who's the guy?
That's the man in the yellow hat.
Yeah, the man in the yellow hat.
Man in the yellow hat.
That's all I could see.
But I can't wait to
Nice yellow jumpsuit. I think Kill Bill. So
I think windbreakers, and let me tell you what, I miss the days of windbreakers. Whoosh, whoosh.
It will be funny as hell if he's wearing yellow.
That'd be great.
It would be great.
I'm not going to say anything to him about it, but it would be funny as hell if he wears yellow. Just saying. But I'm seeing blue. I think he might be wearing blue. We'll find out.
I have got to let you guys go. This dog's about ready to knock everything over.
Yep, I got to get off here too.
Know where you're at.
Thank you, everybody.
I'll see you.
We'll see you next week.
Do good and be good.
Never.